Hello subscribers, welcome to a live stream of Wizardry 8. We're playing the vanilla version, a normal Iron Man with a single character. This is a samurai. And we are kind of soft locked right now, where we need to level up, but the game is not generating monsters very quickly here. So we just have to be patient and keep waiting for the monsters. In the meantime, we can at least train our magic. 50 air magic. There are a lot of Umpani generated. I think it's interfering with the number of monsters that are spawning. We'll go check here in a second if there's any spawned yet. The reason why we can't leave this area is because the rogues have been aggroed. And right when we leave, they will surround us. If they have a true surround on us, we're dead. Or actually, even if they're just within close range, we'll be dead within one round. 77 hit points will not cut it. Green, green. I'll turn the sound effects back on once we need them. Oh, I thought I just saw red. Is that eyes playing tricks on me? I guess so. Sometimes you see something through a wall for a split second. Hey, Zomble, welcome back. How are you doing? We are live. A live play of boring, grinding, waiting for monsters. A stream of soft luck. But the advantage is we're getting a lot of forced magic training. If I had X-ray, I'd at least be able to see if there was anything outside without having to run all the way over there. Ah, Zombo reached his 70 stream watch streak. Wow. Crazy. 70 streams. 70, probably about average of, I don't know, 1.5 per day, maybe. So you've got over 30 days of scams there. Yeah, part 70 Iron Man. Yep. I know some of those are probably some gold box plays, but there probably hasn't been many of those yet lately. As I work on remastering Secret of the Silver Blades. It's been a major pain. It's been more of a pain than any of them. Because of the way the maps bounce you around. They got lazy. SSI. Super lazy. Much as I want to get Crush on this next fight, I have to get Element Shield. $75 Earth, wow. So 42 Earth resistance without any items. That's pretty nice. Protection against knockout and crush. Whipping rocks, earthquake, quicksand. Alright, is there anything within vision? No reds. Otherwise they would have seen them right there. Dang. Or wizardry. See if we can cast Power 3 Fireball reliably yet. Let's check it out. Nope, still light green. Whipping rocks, third is light green. You know, once we get a level, those will turn dark green for sure. If there's any monsters yet. No red. Almost tempted to get X-ray just to save myself from having to run out there every time. Hopefully, if they do spawn another fight soon, it'll be something that gives a ton of experience. We keep getting level 6 plants. I wonder if I sleep closer by the wall. I think the problem is it's just not spawning anything. So I don't think sleeping closer to the wall will change any of that, but I guess I can try it. Try to sleep right here. The reds. It's just because there spawned too many Umpani. Can't leave. Will be surrounded. Ah, we got something. 9 creatures, all right. Assuming those are Piercer Modi. Let me turn the sound on. So far, the Umpani have done more damage to their own people.
I sense something moving.
Oh, those are juggernauts. Okay. That should be a good amount of experience. This will take quite a while, but be a pretty good amount. I feel like they're 11,000 each. So we should get over 100,000 experience. We need 160,000 roughly. It's pretty close. We couldn't even kill one of those right now by ourselves. $250 hit points. You're gonna be out of range. Might be able to hit a fireball over there. Here come the juggernauts. Hopefully this group will intercept. Privates are the ones that are melee, they'll block. The others will just stay back here and shoot. Not only do these have so many hit points, but they take damage reduction. So they really have more like 500 hit points. 400, somewhere in there. I haven't even killed a single juggernaut yet. Definitely got to go back in the base. Here, there's a lieutenant. These Impani guys keep shooting each other on accident. Gotta get out of line of fire. These guys are gonna shoot us. Surprised none of the Impani have died yet. They keep hitting each other on accident. Juggernauts are just slaughtering the whole army. Well, there goes somebody. It was one of the Impani. Just died. Well, this will actually help us with spawns, probably. So there'll be less Impani wandering about out there. Brooke, welcome to the stream. How are you? Paralyzed one. You always thought Impani and Rapix were the coolest races of any video game? Well, I think he just hit us on accident. I saw deflected by missile shield. Yeah. Here's another Umpani dying. Good. Hopefully there'll be some good items dropped out there. Definitely need money. I'm gonna back up here. I don't want this lieutenant shooting at me. Shooting right from here. We could just see it now. He's going to shoot us and either get a critical hit or knock us out. And then the Juggernaut will kill us. Rick says that'd be pretty funny but sad. Yeah. Oh, Soul Shield. Sax is trying to get involved. He's casting Soul Shield from within here. I have been killed before by them on accident. It is not entertaining. The Impanis still haven't killed a single Juggernaut. Okay, we're gonna go right here. We're gonna get behind this guy. It's Sergeant instead. I'll do artifact training. Let's do artifact training. Imagine 9 Juggernauts wiping out the base camp. Yeah, they actually would if lieutenants weren't there. They could wipe them all out. There goes another one biting the dust. Another one of the Umbani. These level 10 lieutenants with a lot of hit points, they do so much damage with their blunderbusses. The lieutenants wear the blue jackets. Well, one juggernaut's finally dead. Hey, Claus, welcome in. How are you doing? The juggernauts are definitely playing. They can't help it. They have giant claws on their hands. They just want to play patty cake with them. Stabbing people. I just want to play. Hit Sarge instead. Oh man, there's been so many friendly fires. There, he's halfway dead. So we'll approach him. Another bounty died. So we've got 4 or 5 deaths already. Hopefully some good items for us. We could sell. We already found a Spear of Death, but we couldn't use it. We found a Zweihander too. Can't use that either. So we got 5,000 gold from those. And we have 4 Peacemaker arrows we found. Only 4. I'm gonna make sure to stay out of the firing range for this lieutenant. It's been going ballistic. Huh. Oh, a sergeant just died. Nice. Hopefully this will make them start spawning more frequently. Sax did Soul Shield. He's in there by himself. Just doing Soul Shield. So useless. It doesn't help at all against these. Does nothing. Because they don't have critical hit ability. Hey Igloo, welcome in. How are you doing? You still get skill from shooting your own teammates. Yes, you do. If you miss, if you hit someone else, it still trains it. Plus, as you can safely retreat to the hell that is the obstacle course because there's a gap in the path nodes. Ah, okay, that's good to know. Did not know that. Yeah, this guy's the most dangerous, this lieutenant. Just shooting like a madman. If he hits us, he could kill us on accident with a critical hit. Hey, Sever, welcome to the stream. 7 stream watch streak. How are you doing? Yeah, I always wondered if you could pull the monsters into the spikes and kill them, but it sounds like you can't. I'll stay here for 1 round. Get a tiny bit of artifact training. Surprised that did 9 damage. Oh, it's power 3. Okay, never mind. Thought it was power 2. Another Juggernaut died. I think we'll do stamina. Probably run back here. Like, these guys are ridiculous stamina. 1,046. They would never run out. Monsters also may be crushed by the spikes, Claw says. Like Raven by the trap, I'm not sure. So how far can they get into the obstacle course? Another Impani bit the dust. Oh shit. Sax is so useful. He's in there playing some sweet, sweet tunes by himself. Glad he hit that guy. He shot that guy twice. I don't think they understand the concept of a crossfire. Let's take a swing at this guy. Behind. Another Impani bites the dust. That's like 8 or 9, I think. We missed. Still have the Wakizashi and one more swing on the primary. I'm not sure if you missed something. Is it ever explained what made Martin steal the thing? Yeah, it is. We hit with the Wakizashi, miss with the broadsword. Yeah, that's part of the main story, Igloo. Talking about the Astral Domine or the Destiny Dominus. Another Impani died, I think. We're down to 5 Juggernauts. Yeah, when you talk to Martin himself, he explains the story. Claus says the nodes lead to the last fixed platform where you jump onto the moving one and continues on dummy ground. Oh, wow. So they could follow you all the way in there by the lava? Wow, that's crazy. I don't think I'd want to try to get through the gates, the spikes coming down in combat, because you could really get screwed over by that. Because they'll keep going, and sometimes when you move in combat, if the monsters get their turn, it'll pause you. It'll say interrupted. So, like, if it did that right when you were going under the spikes, it'd be like, you'd be like frozen in time while the spikes came on your head. That would be really bad. I have a hard time with the path on the narrow planks. You would think so, but I've seen the giant crab, that king crab, go through the wall. Like he's just like cutting through the wall like butter, fitting on a narrow thing that he shouldn't be able to fit on. So I suspect the game would cheat. And they just have him go right up on there. Okay, we need to get healed and then finish those off before they leave. Because there's still 3 more out here. Yeah, passing spikes in combat would be terrible.
And so it begins.
Okay, here we go again. It's 3 left. And then we'll go out and explore what items were dropped. 2 juggernauts. That's why D&D, the spell Time Stop, is so useful. Lets you pass spike traps with impunity. Yeah, I guess I think the area for that spell's not that big though, right? Gotta still implement that spell in the remasters I'm working on. We have time stop in Baldur's Gate 2. You can do so much cheesy stuff like cast improved. What's that? I don't know what that is. To cast even more spells. Yeah, Baldur's Gate's on 2nd edition, right? One left. So really, this didn't end up being that much experience. 30, 50, 70 to 80,000. Alacrity is like haste, okay. Positive, but Dimension Door would also be sufficient. My battle elf always had at least one memorized for one of his get the boss actions. They're dead. Now we get a scavenger hunt.
And so we prevail. For now.
And we need about 75,000 experience for the next level up. Alright, let's see what we got. Junk. Ooh, Celerates. We can't use them. I think we just got another Spear of Death. We did. Can't use it. Is that all they've dropped? It's a drop scam. Alright, he's got too much ammo, I'm sure. Yep. Ugh. Consolidate. These are cheap enough. I can just get them out of his inventory and not sell them back. Okay, where are we at? Do we see the rockets yet? We're not even to the rockets. Oh yeah, we are. Here we go. Okay. So I want an identify scroll. Let's get 2 of those.
Don't let the
Till we meet again.
I'm gonna drop all these just to get him out of his inventory. Okay. Another Spear of Death.
back so soon.
Baldur's Gate is D&D 3rd edition. Myself played edition 1 when it was still a game for the real men who could stand the death of their characters. Today is nearly impossible to get a character killed. Has become a warm inducer game. Yeah. I know a lot of people don't like losing their character. Okay. So we got 4,400 gold. We did make some money there. And now it's back to being full inventory. Let's see here. Let's consolidate these. Okay, almost to the point where we can see books and scrolls. Not quite. Here we go. Here's some arrows. Okay. Trying to do this without losing a bunch of money. Okay, cool. Still not seeing his book. There we go. So this will give us a couple of earth spell points. I could actually potentially use this. I have whipping rocks though, so I'm not sure if I ever would use this. Webs is a low chance of working. Plus is, where is the fun when you win if you could not have lost? That's like saying I won a through game after saves coming. Yeah, I agree. Some people don't want to have to think much when they play a game, you know? I'm not that way, but I can appreciate that some people are that way. I think most people like to save scum, honestly. I really want to spend my money on that. I got to think about this. I still can't leave because of the rogues will surround me immediately. I'm not qualified to throw ice bombs. I don't see granite potions. Hold on.
Don't let the
Till we meet again.
See if this guy sells pick-me-ups.
what'll it be?
No pick-me-up.
Let me know what you need.
Till we meet again.
I think I'm gonna save my money. I don't really need Book of Webs, honestly. Do a little more earth training here. Hopefully more things will spawn now. There were so many Umpani that I think it was interfering. Red rolls are the poor man's pick-me-ups. They are. It's just in combat, they're too weak. For a full party, it's good, but when I only have one guy to carry stuff outside of combat to use those, you know, it's just my strength's not high enough to be dragging those around. Power 2, health food. Because they're not strong enough for combat. They're fine for outside of combat, but they have way too much. And I am definitely a poor man. No alchemy. And not having been to Arnica yet. There's quite a bit of money in Arnica, actually. But we can't get there yet. For this, we'll see if something spawned. Hopefully. Okay, let's go look. Brooke says, if I made a four-man party, Samurai, Ninja, Lord, and Bishop, would I be losing out by not using magic on the Ninja and Samurai? Not really, in my opinion. No. Okay, I don't see any reds. The less characters you have, the more you have to rely on them to kind of be jacks of all trades. But if you have a bishop, he can cast anything, and then if you have a lord, within those 2 rounds, they can both cast most of what you need, you know? Okay, no red. Back to training. Let's do some more fire. Yeah, you figured Ninja Samurai would mostly be offensive spells, but they'd be weak. So what's the point? Bishop can cover a bunch, and Lord doubles up on important spells. Yeah. Yeah, that's the struggle with the hybrids in Ninja. Unless you do a lot of power training, kind of like I'm doing here, they're always going to be crappy with spells. And even if you power train, they're still way behind regular casters. But I have no choice with this. With one character, I have to maximize everything I can. And then it's still probably not going to be enough. But we're sure going to try. The biggest factor for these solo Iron Mans is knowing which monsters can spawn in which areas and what level they are, and trying to avoid when you can, because like right now I can't fight much of anything by myself. Arnica Road, I could fight some things, but even Crimson Poppies could kill this character by himself. It just takes getting put to sleep and then them perpetually putting you to sleep and you're done. The margin for one RNG or one mess up is so low on a solo Iron Man. It's ridiculous. Started not using a priest or a bishop just to make the game a tiny bit harder. Igloo. Just casting heal all every turn can help you through a lot of fights. Yeah. That's why I avoid bards usually and gadgeteers, because they get too strong when they got those instruments. Heal all devices. If you really want to make the game hard, you do Iron Man. Just do Iron Man. It'll make most things that you think easy hard. Okay, let's see if anything spawned. Wizardry of 69. Nope, still no reds. What the heck? Am I ever gonna get leveled up? Not having access to magic screen, armor plate, or soul shield seems really crippling to your samurai. Soul shield, no. Armor plate, no. Magic screen, yes. That's the biggest one. It depends though if I can get to level 20, 25. If I get to that, magic screen won't be that big of a deal not having it. Armor plate honestly doesn't help a whole lot with a solo character like this. Most of the monsters seem to almost bypass most armor classes. Most armor. So your level makes it the biggest difference. You get that really, really high, and then even if they hit you, you probably won't get paralyzed or knocked out or whatever. Just have to be a lot higher level than them. Eventually I'll get Summon Elemental. That's going to be the biggest help, because that's going to offset a ton of things. It'll be a big distraction. It'll take a lot of fire for us. Nothing magical happens at 25. It's just the higher your level is compared to the enemies, it increases your magic resistance. As soon as you get blind, your armor class is 2. Well, your evasion armor class goes to -5 when you get blinded. So your evasion becomes absolutely useless. But your anti-penetration still applies. Like I said, it seems like most enemies just bypass armor class anyway. Until you get really high level, then all of a sudden they're always missing. And Soul Shield is one that you don't really need that much because you can get an Amulet of Healing, which gives you 50 Divine Resistance. So you can get that up to 100 pretty easily, and that's the one that protects you from critical hits from monsters. The mental is a factor if you have a full party because they can go insane, turncoat on each other and stuff. But with a solo character, it's not as big of a deal actually. And samurai are immune to fear. So we can't be scared. We can still become insane. And we can be turncoated, but turncoat, you can't attack yourself, so then the monsters will just kind of surround you for a little while until it wears off. The insanity can make you miss turns, but again, you won't attack yourself. So, like I said, fear won't happen. So I'm not super concerned about the mental right now. Invasion, it becomes a little important because those guys use Sonic Blast and Mind Flay and stuff, which will just do straight damage. That's a really long way off. Plus, says some trees which spawn in Trenton Upper can drop power level 4 magic screen. Ring. Ooh, wow. I've never had that happen. It must be very rare. Chainmail probably isn't worth it. It was doing fine when you were using rogues in another game. Yeah, my understanding is there's 2 rolls that happen in the game engine. One to see if it hits you, so that checks your evasion. And then there's another roll which then checks your anti-penetration. And I feel like a lot of enemies seem to bypass the evasion. Anything that can backstab, no matter how low your evasion is, it seems like they almost always hit you until you get your level high, and then all of a sudden they start missing. So I don't know what the formula is. Someday I'd like to disassemble and figure that out, but it's really weird. Hey, Voidek, welcome in. How are you doing? Says, I remember Biogu farming the magic screen on burrs by constantly spawning trees. Oh, the magic screen amulet, yeah. Well, he had to have been save scumming then, right? Or was he super high level and went back and did it where he couldn't be hurt by him? Iron Man Solo, okay, he had to have been super high level then. Hey, Mr. Spock, welcome in. How are you doing? Samurai Run's painful. Right now it's painful because we're too weak to kill almost anything on our own. I need about 5 levels, and it's not spawning anything for us at the moment. I think what's happened is it's made too many Umpani outside the gate, and it's not wanting to spawn enemies. Let's go check and see if it did. Hope those pains turn into gains. Get the gains. Yeah, look how many are out here. It's ridiculous. Here's the reds. Still no reds. You can see the roles if you run the Wizardry 8 version 1 exe and use Cybermain's CMWZ8 trainer with the development mode enabled. Zombo says if the bridge is blocked by the Guardian Bandits, we can always head the other way. No, it's not that. It's they got aggroed and I pulled them toward me. And now as soon as we leave this area, they're surrounded us. They've surrounded us. So we can't even get back in here. If we try to go out there, we're going to die at the level we're at right now. This is ridiculous. Look at the mini map, how many Umpani there are. I've never seen this many Umpani. It's interfering with the monster spawns. Yeah, it's unbelievable. I've never seen this many. There's probably over 100 out there. So all I've been doing is just power training in the meantime. Every once in a while a fight will happen, but it's so rare. We need about 60 or 70,000 experience to get to level 11. I think it's 11. Let me check. Yeah. And we really need to be about level 15. Voidex says, I think I figured out how a character can attack himself. If he chooses to Guardian Angel himself, cancel it on move command and switch to attack the next turn. Really? That's weird. Hmm. They are ready for a ground evasion. It's interesting. Okay. Let's try to rest some more over here. Let me try 3 times and then go out there. Yeah, I plan on disassembling some of this and looking for the formulas myself in the future. I don't know when I'm going to do that, but I just don't trust a lot of what I read online. Even like someone that supposedly put the rolls in there, I don't necessarily trust it. I've seen so many things that were wrong. The only way to know is to do it yourself. So why would that cause them to attack themselves? Mr. Spock asked about the guardian angel thing. I don't know. It's got to be a bug. It's the only thing I can think of. Still no red. I wish I could pull those bandits into here, but we can't. As soon as we leave here, we're going to be surrounded. Ugh. I've had 2 fights this whole stream, and we're an hour and 20 minutes in. That's how rare the spawns have become. Widick says, I guess because they had no action targeted on themselves and switched to attack still target on themselves. Only experienced this once though, so I need to test. Okay. So it could not be necessarily consistent. Zombo says, I know of a way to spawn monsters. As soon as you camp outside, they'll spawn. Probably true, and I don't want to do that. This will be dead. Buzz says it's not the trainer which puts the rolls in. It only causes them to appear on the screen. The numbers are generated. Yeah, but what I'm saying is whoever's showing the rolls, they have to be looking at memory addresses and variables in memory to display that. And I'm not saying they're doing it wrong, but they could be doing it wrong, or they may not be accounting for some things. That's the only way you can get that onto the screen. They think they're looking at the right thing, but they may not be. There could be something else. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but they could still have it wrong. Like Cosmic Forge, for example, there's a lot of unknowns. They know about a lot of stuff, but there's still a lot of memory addresses and variables that they have no idea what they do. So there could be code that runs that's updating something that they're not even aware about. That's why the only way to know is to disassemble it yourself, translate it to something a little friendlier, and then see exactly what they're doing. But that takes a lot of time. The trainer is too small to do what it does by itself. It unlocks a mode of the EXE. So are you saying the original developers had a backdoor setting that they used to debug, and that's just enabling that flag? I mean, that'd be easy enough for me to test. I just look at the executable before whatever that is runs, let it do its thing, and see if it just flipped a flag somewhere. You can do a bit comparison on the resultant exe, and if it changed, then you know it did it that way. And if it didn't change, then it's not doing something like that. Okay, let's see if we got anything out here. I'm gonna say no. Hopefully I'm wrong. Well, we're getting mythology training every time, but no reds. Oh my goodness. So weird. I think I said it earlier, we'll have 100 Earth before we actually get our next level up. It's ridiculous. It's too bad Mount Gygas isn't open for us. We could at least go in there, but we are stuck. I'd rather say they published their dev exe and blocked access to the modes the trainer unlocks. Creation of monster generators, triggers, spawns, etc. on the fly. Jagged Alliance 2 did something similar to that, Igloo? Like a mode for the game itself by the original developers. Nice feature is just the removal of their user interface completely. It's just a little hard to use the controls. It's intriguing. I know it's written in C++ because I've looked at the executable. So there must be just some simple flags they've set to block certain modes then. "91 Earth Magic, that's nuts." Jagged Alliance 2 is basically XCOM style game. Yeah, I know what it's like. I played Jagged Alliance 1 on stream twice and it was too tedious for me. And I know 2's a lot better, but it looks similar to me. It's just too much micromanagement. I'm not a fan of games that have an overhead view where you have to micromanage every little thing. If it's turn-based, okay. But if it's phase-based, or real-time pause, I'm not a fan of that. Plus, the Jagged Alliance 2 has a cheat code, several shortcuts, but that only covers a few functions. I know the source code for Jagged Alliance, I think it was, I don't know if it was 1 or 2 was released. I actually downloaded it and looked at it. It's very simplistic. Okay, let's see. Do we have anything? It's too bad I don't have X-ray. It'd make it a heck of a lot easier. I have to run out here every time. Holy moly, look how many there are now. It's running to the middle of the page. Mr. Spock says, is there a pause turn base that you like despite it being a pause game? Yeah, I like Darklands. Darklands is a fantastic game, but in general, I don't like real time with pause. What the? Look at the mini map down here. This is ridiculous. It's an Umpani invasion. I have never seen so many Umpani. It's so out of control. Oh my gosh. I'm trapped here, guys. I can't get anything to spawn. Your only one game for the island would be Jagged Alliance 2, not Wizardry 8. There's a visible man there. Mr. Spock says Jagged Alliance is a hard and frustrating game in my opinion, but I still think it's kind of cool. It's a shame you can't isolate and destroy them for the training. Yeah, I agree. That would be so much better if we could just like kind of take one around the corner and hit them over the head. You guys didn't see it. If you can kill them before they run back to the rest and say help. Igloo says I'd rather just play Fallout 2 if I want turn-based stuff. And Claus says Jagged Alliance 2 vanilla is pretty easy once you know the drill. But 1.13 allows to crank up the difficulty exponentially in the config files. "76 Wizardry, and it's not even on purpose." wanting to fight, but we're just not getting much. Yeah, the funny thing is with my game Forteverse that I've paused while I've been doing the gold box engine, I started it with as real time with pause, and I have since converted it to turn based, but it's optional. You can pick the mode. So if you make it real time to begin with, then it's easy to turn it into turn based. So now I have it turn based by default, but you can just disable that and then suddenly it becomes real time with pause. Real time just goes way too fast when you're trying to control a full party. It's so chaotic. Phase based saves you a little bit for that. But it's still even kind of hard even with phase based. Like in Wizardry, they cheat and they pause it when you bring up a menu. So it's not truly real-time phase-based. It's real-time until you bring up a menu. And they do it, yeah. It's kind of weird. They call it continuous phased. Mr. Spock says, I'm glad you did the conversion. LOL, but nice of you to offer weirdos the option. Yeah, sometimes like if it's a tedious battle, you probably want to turn on real time. Just let the computer control it all. You're going to be able to program your options and set hierarchies, so you can say, in this scenario, the characters should do this, and this one they should be doing this. You can set the priorities, so then that way, if you just flip it to real time and you know you're not really in danger, and as long as you did your programming properly, then the computer should do a good job and you should come out ahead. And then you don't have to go through and do each turn one at a time. Okay, let's see. Do we have anything else yet? Oh my goodness. Can't believe how many are out here. Look at this. Look at this. It's going down farther than the middle of the screen. And then there's more over here. Could you imagine Death Wish right now? They were your enemy. That would be pretty economical, or nuclear blast, or any of those that hit everything in vision. Earthquake. Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. Look at this line. I'm just gonna follow the line. There's even somebody out here. Oh, that guy's in the tower. Okay. It's hopeless. I'm never gonna get spawns. Igloo says, I at least like the option real time because there's fights you can win with just doing AI doing the auto attack. Yeah, exactly. Always better to give the player the option. Wittick says, yeah, accidentally backfire, hit all enemies spell would be so nice. Yeah, that would be. Oops, I accidentally backfired Death Wish. 10 of them just died. Accidentally backfired Death Cloud. That'd be really bad in a solo run, though. That would be a terrible, terrible, terrible. Let's see how many spell points I have for fireballs. 78 wizardry. 87. Still can't cast power level 3 reliably. Next level we will be able to. But what about 14? Power 1 fireballs. Probably about 16 whipping rocks, power level 1. And we're only level 10, but we can be killed so quickly. Already close to the limit of enemies in battle. You got 1 to 10 frames per second lag with 76. I don't know how many were there. There were 62. Yeah, I just feel like the spawning mechanism's just not really producing anything. It's like, oh, there's a bunch of Impani here. I can't do that. What if I just stand out there for a little while without resting, if that would do anything? I'm just gonna stand here for a few minutes. Brooke says this would be such a weird end for this character. Yeah, we'd have to go out with a bang and just try to take on those rogues out there. I'm not sure if this guy sells canned elementals. Our throwing's so terrible, we'd most likely fail with 30. If we could somehow get that to work before we died that round. But even then, we'd probably take so much damage the next round. I just can't go out there. Last time they almost surrounded me and I was able to run back. Another possibility is if they don't totally close the circle, I could kill them with over time. No, it wouldn't work because they would kill me in the second round. I was going to say I could throw a firebomb, get a firestorm on them. But then when I tried to run the second round, they would kill us for sure. Poison? Gosh, there's just no way to poison them though, because... Yeah, second round will be dead. Just do not have a way to deal with those guys. And this is not spawning anything either. That would make a great story for this character, Rook says. Wojtek says, at least the backfired canned elemental doesn't appear to turn on the party. Yeah, I don't think it... That's interesting you say that, because all bombs and powders, except cure paralysis, that one I'm not sure about, can backfire. They either succeed or backfire. The bombs. I should say the bombs, like stink bombs and that. The canned elemental's a little weird because it's like a potion. Potions don't normally fizzle. Well, they can't fizzle. But it's treated like an artifact, so I feel like they just make it look like a potion. Graphically. The bombs don't fizzle. The bombs always backfire or succeed, which makes them kind of dangerous. Mr. Spock says, is there any way to make the Ranger work solo Iron Man via the hit and run method? Yeah, maybe, but it would just take so many runs. And there's certain areas where you're not going to be able to run. You know, you'll be trapped. Possible. I mean, the samurai is not super likely to be able to win. So I don't think a ranger would probably be any more likely. It all depends on how much time you want to invest on the initial experience. Something that could be done, which I would hate to do, but you could do it. In that first area, you could grind 1,000,000 experience and stay at level 2 and spend 30 streams doing that. And then go out to Arnica Road, raise your level all the way up to like level 15. So go from level 2 to level 15. So you could do something like that and you would be safe, but it would take forever, and it just wouldn't be fun. It'd be terrible for a stream. So if you did something like that, yeah, you could probably make almost any of these work. It's all about the amount of time you want to invest. Line between accomplishment and entertainment, yeah. Like, I know this is super boring to watch. I wouldn't be doing this, but I have no choice. Because if we leave the area, we're done. We're already going to be surrounded by those rogues, and they will do more than 77 damage in one round. Rook says that would only be good as a time-lapse video on YouTube. Yeah. And then you could have just cheated, you know? That's why I do the streams, is so it's legitimate and it's all recorded real time. There's no edits or anything. Okay. Go back out there again. All I need is one good fight here. If we killed... I think if we killed 9 more Juggernauts, that'll give us level 11. And then we'd be able to get Element Shield. It's just not making anything. Can we get the fake pass from Kunar and go down the mountain? That's a good question, Zomble. Unfortunately, no. If I tell him, I'll show you what happens if I tell him the keywords. But that would have been a really good idea had the developers not blocked it. I'll show you what he says here. I have no idea what you're talking about, soldiers. So unfortunately, that trigger hasn't happened, so I can't do it. Now, there's some cheat exploit type things we could do. There's a way to get through this wall and get into this room right here. But I'm not going to do anything like that. You need mind read to do that, Void Exodus? Really? Can that really work? If so, that would be kind of cool. It does work. Oh, wow. That's interesting. That's really interesting. That actually makes that spell useful. I mean, we can't get it. We're a samurai, but... Let me look at my intelligence in this. I think you need 55 or 60 senses to become a psionic. We'd have to get at least 2 levels. Yeah, God, I'd hate to do that too. That'd just suck. It'd be really, really weak. That wouldn't be worth it. And that's a shame. There's not a way to break through that. Let me try something else. Go ask at the roadhouse. Spy. Trang. Trang will come out on top if the IUF doesn't get it right together. Not a travel guide. Okay. I was hoping one of those other words could somehow cause it to pick up. It didn't. All right. Well, I think I'm going to save it for now. Stupid samurai, yeah. Okay. We'll just have to keep doing more of what we're doing. If I get one more level, we'll at least have Element Shield. Which, I don't know. That's not going to help us with those rogues. It's just going to be super slow. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time.